You guys would not believe the amount of cold cases slash unsolved murders there are in Orange County, California. This story in particular, though, gives me the heebie-jeebies. It is crazy. It's the unsolved murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. On May 28, 1980, Dorothy drove two of her coworkers to UCI Medical Center in Orange after her coworker Conrad Bostron was bit by a black widow spider, making him feel sick. So the doctors give Bostron his medication. They discharge him around 11 p.m. At this time, Dorothy was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get the car. You wait here. You don't feel good. You could wait here with the other coworker, Pam." Pam also helped him with like some paperwork while Dorothy went to go get the car. So minutes go by and they notice that Dorothy hasn't pulled up to the exit yet. So they're kind of concerned. They're like, "Oh, that's weird. Let's just go outside and check on her." So they go outside, they check the parking lot, and that's when they see Dorothy's car just speeding towards them, passing them, and exiting the hospital parking lot. So they were pretty confused as to why she would just leave. They thought it was like an emergency with her kid, but they also thought it was pretty random. Like, why would she just leave without giving us a heads up or something? After a couple hours of not hearing from her, they decided to let her parents know, and her parents decided to inform the authorities about this. At around 4:30 a.m. the next morning, they found Dorothy's car burning in an alley in Santa Ana, California, a couple miles from the hospital, with no trace of Dorothy. Before any of this happened, she had been receiving phone calls from an unknown man who was stalking her, and he knew a ton about her. He would call her randomly and tell her that he would cut her up into little bits so no one could find her. She disappeared May 28, 1980, but the story gets crazier. After she disappeared, her parents received a call from an unknown man that said, "I've got her," then hung up. A month later, on June 12th, a man called the Orange County Register and said that he killed Dorothy because she cheated on him. The killer, I'm gonna say the killer because most for sure he's a killer, the caller. The killer knows way too much. Like, he knows a lot of details that he shouldn't have known unless someone told him. He knew that Conrad Bostron had a spider bite from a black widow and that's why he was at the hospital. He also knew that Dorothy went home real quick just to change a scarf color. He also claimed that at the hospital Dorothy called him, but Dorothy's coworker Pam said that she never called him and that she never left her side. The police at this point suspected the caller as the killer because of all the little details that he gave. But unfortunately, the killer was never on the phone long enough to be traced. And from 1980 to 1984, Dorothy's mother, Vera, received phone calls every Wednesday when she was alone. The man called once more in April of 1984, but Dorothy's father, Jacob, answered and the calls just stopped. So they thought. On August 6th, 1984, a construction worker discovered dog bones and human bones next to each other near Santa Ana Canyon Road. Santa Ana Canyon Road is kind of like a mountainous type of area, very hilly. It's pretty spooky actually. And especially in the 80s, I'm pretty sure that's how it looked. I'm pretty sure there wasn't as many houses, or I don't know. Back to the story. Near the bones, they also found a turquoise ring and a watch. The time on the watch had stopped at 12:30 a.m. on May 29th, an hour after she left the hospital on May 28th, 1980. At this point, they kind of had an idea that it was her. All they needed was a confirmation, and that's what they got on August 14th, 1984. They believed that she had been murdered around like 1982 because the bones were kind of charred, and around that time, I guess there was like a fire that passed by the area. So they believe that that's how they got charred. After the remains were found and identified, they began to receive more calls, which is fucking crazy, dude. This sounds like a movie. I'm surprised there isn't a movie about this yet. It's fucking crazy, dude. Police Police installed a voice recorder, but nothing ever came about it. Like, this guy was really obsessed with Dorothy. One time he called her and he said to go outside because he had a gift for her. And Dorothy actually went outside and she saw on her windshield that there was a dead rose. And a week before she was abducted, she was taking karate classes. And she was even thinking about buying a gun. This murder is unsolved, and who knows if it'll ever be solved. It's 2022. This happened in the 80s. What I will say though is just out of conspiracy, I have a feeling that Dorothy might have known who he was. Unless he was just that fucking crazy good of a stalker that knew every detail about everything. But let me know what you guys think of the situation. Like, let me know in the comment section below. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys have any conspiracy theories about this? But yeah, rest in peace to Dorothy. Alright guys, take care, be safe. Peace out. Thank you guys for the support. You all are the best.